I would like to introduce Mr. Bob. He's a network engineer. He's working in the famous company called Irash Technologies. Bob managed the network and system infrastructure of the Irash Technologies, which contain multiple switches, router, and other many network devices. The company Irash Technologies is a large company. Their network contains hundreds of routers, switches, and other network devices. Bob is solely responsible to manage all of these network devices, like configuring the devices, troubleshoot the network issue, and so many other things. But one day that happened. There was a fire accident in Irash Technologies data center, and one of the main router is burned out because of the fire accident. And because of that, the critical network of Irash Technologies was down. Now, what Bob is going to do to recover this network outage, to restore his network back? Here, Bob is the responsible person to fix this issue for his company because he is the network engineer. So what Bob can do to rectify this issue? Since one of the router is burned out and it is not working at all, maybe Bob can bring another router from the market or from the shop or from his stock and replace that faulty router. But when the Bob replace that faulty router by the new router, can the network connection restore in Irash Technologies? The answer is no, because Bob took a new device and he just replaced this faulty device. And this device is a brand new device. It doesn't have any configuration inside it. So as soon as the Bob connect the new device, that is not going to rectify this issue. The network is not going to come back. To recover this network, Bob must configure this new router with the same configuration of the old router. Then only the network can work as expected. And of course, Bob is a network engineer. He can configure the new router easily. But here the question is, what was the configuration of the previous router? Nobody know. It was configured few years back by Bob or someone else. But what was the configuration in that router is nowhere recorded. So how Bob know what was the configuration inside? In normal situation, he can connect the old router using a console cable into his laptop and log into the console and understand what is the configuration inside. But here the condition is the router is totally burned out due to the fire accident. It is not switching on at all. So because of this reason, Bob is not able to log into the old router and see what is a configuration file. This is not only the Bob's problem. This problem is facing by hundreds of network engineers who is working in the multiple companies. Since the network devices are very critical for the company operation, the network engineer should be more serious about the configuration backup. So how this type of situation can be avoided? To avoid this kind of situation, you should take the backup of the configuration file of every network devices in your organization. In normal situation, this configuration file is stored inside the storage area of each device. But when the device is faulty or it is totally dead, it is not possible to recover this configuration file. So to prevent this situation, we should take the backup of configuration file of each devices. And where you are going to save this configuration file? Are you going to save the copy of the configuration file in the same device storage itself? Because when your device is completely faulty, you cannot take the backup file that is stored in the same storage device. So what is the best practice? The best practice is you can save this configuration file into a file server, or you can save into a storage server. If both are not available, then you can save this file into an external hard drive and keep it with you. And the fourth option would be a cloud-based storage. There are several service providers provide the cloud-based storage place that you can utilize to save your files. So this configuration file you can save into a cloud-based storage place. And it is not necessary you need to copy this configuration file into one of the storage place. You can save this file into multiple storage places so that its multiple copy will be available around you. That means even one of the option is failed, there are still other options are available. So in this video we are going to talk about the backup and restore process in Cisco devices. Welcome to the video. Welcome to CCNA 200-301. Implementing and Administering Cisco Solutions, Chapter number 41, How to Backup and Restore Configuration in Cisco Devices. Learn CCNA with Irash Academy. I have placed the complete CCNA playlist at the top right corner of the video information bar. Do you have a collection of your family photo? You might have took the photograph of your family get together and happy moments. And where are you going to save these important files in your life? Most probably this file may be inside your laptop. That means inside your laptop hard drive. So what happens when this laptop is crashed or its hard drive is crashed? You will lose all of your files. You know how much important is this file for you. So if you are serious enough to understand the value of this photo, then you might take the backup of these photos into an external hard drive as a second copy. So even if your laptop is faulty or your hard drive is completely crashed, still you can get the file from this external hard drive. If you replace your current laptop with another laptop, then you can easily get all the photos from your external hard drive easily. Here, to take this backup, not only the external hard drive is an option, there are other options also. You can save your photos into a cloud-based storage such as Google Drive or iCloud, and you can restore it whenever you want it. You can restore the file easily from the hard drive or from the cloud to your new laptop or to your new hard drive, because your old hard drive is not working. So that's why you replace your hard drive with a new hard drive, and to that new hard drive you can restore your photos from the external hard drive or from the cloud. Now let's talk about the routers, switches, firewall, wireless controller or access point. In all these kind of devices which is running in Cisco IOS, there are two kind of configuration file. One is the startup configuration file and the second one is running configuration file. So what is the difference between the startup configuration file and running configuration file? The startup configuration file, it is saved in the flash storage of the device. This is a configuration file a Cisco device accepts when it is booting its Cisco operating system. So once the device completes the booting process into the Cisco IOS, it takes the configuration file from the flash drive and load the configuration into the device. So once the startup configuration is completely loaded, then it moves that configuration file into the random access memory of the device. This is also called RAM. And now it is called the running configuration. So the device needs the startup configuration only during the booting process. After the booting process, it will be considered as the running configuration. Initially, when a Cisco device boot, its startup configuration will be equal to the running configuration. Both will be same. Now, if you make any changes in the current configuration, that means the startup configuration and the running configuration will be different, because you are going to make the changes in the running configuration. Whatever changes you are making in the device, it will be considered in the changes in the running configuration. It is not going to change anything in the startup configuration. So after you make the changes in the running configuration, you reboot the device. Then what will happen? When you reboot the device, it will lose all the changes in the configuration, because the running configuration is running from the random access memory, which is called volatile memory. Volatile means if the device lose the power, then it will lose all the configuration. But on the other hand, the flash is called non-volatile memory. Even the power lose, it doesn't lose any configuration from the non-volatile memory. So that's why the startup configuration is always stable as it is. But the running configuration, you will lose all the configuration when you reboot the device or when you switch off the device. So what you need to do to avoid this kind of configuration loss? To prevent this thing, you need to save the current running configuration. When you save the current running configuration, and where you are going to save the current running configuration? Into the startup configuration. So when you save the current running configuration into the startup configuration, the configuration change is transferring from the random access memory, that means from the volatile memory, into the flash memory, a non-volatile memory. So after you save the configuration, all the changes will be saved in the flash memory. Next time when you reboot the device, you will get all the configuration as it is, because you save the configuration as a startup configuration. So next time when you start the device takes the startup configuration and load the iOS accordingly. I hope that now you have understood the importance of the startup configuration. This startup configuration is available in which location? The startup configuration is available in the flash memory. And where is this flash memory located? Flash memory is located inside the device. If it is a router, inside the router. Now, what will happen when this device is faulty? It is not powering on, or its motherboard is totally destroyed. Then what will happen to the startup configuration? The answer is we will lose the startup configuration forever, because there is no backup we have taken for the startup configuration. So it is better to take the configuration backup of any device that you have in your organization. So where I can take this backup of the startup configuration? I can take the backup of the startup configuration into a file server, or into a storage server, or into an external hard drive, or into a cloud storage. I can take to anywhere. So I can back up the startup configuration to any one of this location. And if something happened to my router, I can bring the same model of router, I can bring another router into my production network and restore the backup from the backup location. And when I do this restore process, the new router will have all the configuration as it is like the previous router. And your network will work in a way that how it was working previously. Now let me show you how to take the backup and restore in Cisco devices with a practical example. For that I am going to access one of my network switch and I will show you how to take the backup. For that I am going to open the application called PuTTY. PuTTY is the application that we use to connect a Cisco device remotely. And now I am going to type here the IP address of the network switch, which is 10.10.1.61. So this is the IP address of my network switch, and I am going to connect by SSH. So I need to use the port number 22. Now when I click open, it is asking me to log in. So let me put my user ID and password. Now here you can see I log into the network switch. Now as I said, there is two type of configuration available in a Cisco device. One is the startup config and the second one is the running config. Startup configuration file is the configuration file that load when the device load the iOS, and the running configuration is the currently running configuration in the device. So now let me show you what is my startup configuration. So I am using the command show startup config to display the startup configuration file. Then I press enter. Now you can see here what is my startup configuration is displayed in the screen. If you click the space key in your keyboard, more pages are coming, and all the configuration in this switch, it is displayed here. So this is the startup configuration of my network switch. Here you can see the interface detail, VLAN details, username details, and how it is configured. Everything is available here. Now, how to take the backup of the startup configuration? There are multiple ways to take the backup of the device configuration. One simple way is copy the configuration file into a notepad and save it as a text file. And whenever you want to restore, open that text file and copy from that file and again place it back in the Cisco device. So let me take the configuration from here. So this is my command and the startup configuration starting from here. So let me copy this, all the configuration. It's a long configuration, so you need to wait. I will play it in fast forward so that we will not lose the time. Now I have selected all the configuration from the startup config file. Now I want to copy these details. So how can I copy this detail? To copy this detail, I just need to select the configuration part, then press enter. And when I press enter, this configuration is already copied into the computer memory. Now after that, I can create a text file here called startup config. Then paste in this text file. Paste. See, now all of the configuration is copied here. All the information is copied as it is. Then save the file. So this is our startup configuration, and if you see, this is 32 KB in size. If you open the file, you can see all the configuration is there as it is. Now what if I want to take the running configuration backup? For that, first I need to go to show running configuration command to display the running configuration. Now see, all the running configuration is showing in the screen. Now how to take the backup? Same way, just copy the running configuration and paste it in a notepad. So my running configuration is starting from here. See, this is the running configuration command. From here I just need to copy, same like I did for the startup configuration. Let me fast forward this for you to save the time. Now press enter to copy, then create a new text file called running config. Then open the file, then paste it here. So this is my running configuration. Then after this, just save the file. So here you can see my startup config file is here and my running config file is here. So in this way we can take the backup of our device configuration. So this is one of the method, which is a simple method. Now how to restore this configuration back to the device? To restore the configuration back to the device, you need to first go to configuration mode by using the command configure terminal. And why you want to go to configuration mode? Because you are going to configure the device with some specific command, and in which mode you can enter that configuration commands, it is only possible in the configuration mode. So that's why you want to go to the configuration mode. Then what you need to do, you need to open the startup config file. If you are going to restore the startup configuration file, then you need to copy all this configuration file from this text file, copy, then you need to paste it in the putty console. Here I am not going to paste this right now because this is already my current configuration. So even I paste the same configuration here, it is not going to change anything. So I am just showing you how to restore the configuration file. You just need to copy all the configuration command from this text file, then copy that and just paste it in the putty console after you enter the configuration mode. So all the configuration that is marked in this file, it will be applied to your device. And the same you can do with the running config also. If you want to restore the running configuration, then you need to open the running config file, then copy everything from here, then go back to your putty console, go to config mode, then just paste it here. So all the running configuration will be applied to the device. So this is one of the simple way to take the backup and restore the file. So let me close these two windows. Now the second option is the application putty itself give an option to save the configuration. For that, when you open the putty here, you need to go to the login option, and in this login option you have multiple options here to select, because you are going to log the session. So whatever in your session is, it will be logged as a log file. Here you can see the multiple options are available. If you select none, then nothing is going to log, nothing is going to save. And if you go to the printable output option, then you can take the logs as a printable output file. And if you select the all session output, all the session that is using in the putty will be saved. So here I am going to use the printable output because I need to save the configuration as a printable file. Now next is log file name. Here you can enter your file name. So I am going to enter the file name iRash switch backup. This is my file name, okay? And from the browse button you can select the location of your backup file. So I am going to click on browse, then select the D drive, and from here, so this is the folder I am going to save this backup file, and this is the same location that we use in the first option. We copied the running config and startup config in the same location. Now to confirm the path, click on save. Okay, see, now here you can see where these log files are going to save. Now after you configure the location and the file name and the session type, you can go to the session and type the IP address of your router. So I'm going to type the IP address 10.10.161. Enter. Now it is asking me to log in. So let me enter my username, then enter, then the password. Okay, now I am inside my network switch, and here you can see the name of the network switch. And as soon as I enter to the switch, you can see my backup file is automatically created in this location with the same name, that is called iRash switch backup, and currently you can see it says 0 because there is nothing, because there is no data in the log file. Now I am going to use the command show startup config, and when I press enter, it display my startup config of this switch. And now when you refresh here, nothing is changed because it is still showing 0 KB, because all the session will be saved into this file when you exit from the session. So let me close this putty session, and it is asking me to close the session. I press OK. Then when I refresh, see, now it says become 34 KB. So whatever the session I was using that putty, it is saved into this location. So let me open this file and open with the notepad, and here you can see all the command I used and all the result, everything is logged in this file. So this also we can consider as a backup file, and whenever you want to restore the setting from this backup, you can just simply copy that command from here and go to the putty console, go to configuration mode, then just paste it there. So all the configuration that was showing in this file will be configured in the Cisco device. So let me close this file. So this is the second option to take the backup and to restore the backup using the putty application. Now let's go to the third option. Third option is take the backup of the device into a remote location like an FTP server or TFTP server. So let me show you that. For that, first I need to log into my network switch. So the IP address is 10.10.1.61. Then let me put my user ID. Then let me enter my password. Now I am entered to the network switch. Now the command to save the configuration into remote location, we can see what are the options available. So let me use the command copy. Then what I am going to copy? I want to copy my startup configuration. So let me put the startup configure file here. Then where I want to copy the startup configuration file. So when you type the question mark here, you will get multiple options. Something like you can copy the startup configuration into flash, then you can save into NVRAM, you can save this into this running configuration, you can save this into the startup configuration, and standby NVRAM, standby RCSF, syslog, system, TFTP. Lot of options are available. In the previous chapter I show you how to copy the startup configuration into running configuration and the running configuration into startup configuration. So this time let's use a remote location using the TFTP. So here I want to copy the startup configuration into my TFTP server. Okay, for that let me put here TFTP, and this is the end of the command. So just press enter. Now it is asking what is the address or name of the remote host. So here I need to put the IP address or the host name of my TFTP server. So I use the same system as a TFTP server. Here you can see I'm using the SolarWind TFTP server in the same computer. So I will use the same IP address of this computer. So the IP address is 10.10.124.113. This is the IP address of my computer. That is the same IP address is the IP address of the TFTP server. Then press enter. Now it is asking what is the destination file name. What is the file name you want to put for this configuration file. Here I am going to use the name as iRash backup. Okay, we already have here one file called iRash switch backup, and this time I am using iRash backup. So this will be the name of my backup file. Then press enter. And as soon as I press enter, you can see the message in the TFTP server like TFTP connected from 10.10.161 on source port 1034. That is this network switch 10.10.161. Okay, and it started the file, and then it is completed the file. So that means the copying process completed to my TFTP server. And where is this location of this file? I put the same location of this location in the TFTP file. So you can see this is the backup file in my TFTP. I use the same location, and the file name is iRash backup. You can see the file name I used here is iRash backup, and the file save in the same name. Now let me open the file using notepad. Here you can see this contain the complete startup configuration of my network switch. It contains all the configuration file as it is. So next time if I want to restore from here, I can go to this file and copy all the configuration file, then go back to the putty console, then go to the configuration mode, then just paste it here. So all the information, all the configuration that is available in this file will be available in that device. So this is the third option to take the backup of your Cisco device. So in this chapter, we have discussed about the importance of backup and restore of configuration file. I showed to you how to backup Cisco configuration in 3 different methods. And finally, I show you how to restore the Cisco configuration from the backup file. Thank you very much for watching and subscribe to the channel for more videos. Enhance your skills using iRush Academy.